thanks for tuning in. This is Autobot coming with another video review. And today we're going to be taking a look at the new Transformers Generation Deluxe class Autobot Scoop, part of the Thrilling 30, and as you can see, he's got the IDW exclusive background cover thing. Now, just looking at him, he's a orange and yellow bulldozer. He comes with two little target masters that you come around here to the back, and it says that they can combine to form a weapon. You do have his tech specs, and as you can see, he's got a 10 for courage, so that's pretty impressive. And it says the fearless resolve of Autobot Scoop makes him one of the most relentless warriors on the battlefield. There's no such thing as danger when you can blast enemies with the combined firepower of target master allies like Caliburst and Hole Punch. Yeah, and then you got the loader mode, you got his robot mode. As I said, I don't have any idea about the character. I'm 100% certain that, well, I shouldn't say 100% certain. I'm going to say that I'm 95% certain that this comic book's not going to tell me much about Scoop, just because they don't seem to do that anymore. I'm definitely curious to see how this figure turns out. It's interesting. It really is. It really does have a very Armada Starscream feel for me. I didn't know anything about that character, but I really like the toy. So I'm hoping that's something that carries over with Scoop as well. So without further ado, let's get this guy open and see how cool he actually is. All right, guys. So here we have Scoop, Caliburst, and Hole Punch open up and out of their packaging. And taking a look first at Caliburst here. Caliburst is not the original name for the character. The original name was Trace in G1, but due to copyright stuff, he couldn't call it that, so they decided to call it Caliburst. So you can see he transforms into this gun. You do have these holes throughout his body, but it's really difficult to get them to peg in. You got a hole here, here, and here, here and here, and then obviously his hands. But it's a pain, really, to get them to actually peg in there. It's not easy to do, and more often than not, you pop this entire section out. It's just held together by two little pegs, but it's annoying, and getting them back in is kind of a pain in the butt. But Caliburst is actually pretty nice. What you want to do to transform him, you fold his arms out, you rotate this back, you rotate this back up like so, and here you have Caliburst. If you want, you can take this little section off here in the middle and get a nicer look for him, but overall, I love the way that these guys have turned out. Zoom in so that you can get a good look at that. I mean, the molded detail on here is really very nice. The paint job isn't all that bad. It's very simplistic. You just really have three colors. You got yellow, orange, and blue. But the molded detail, I mean, you can see it on his arms and it throughout his chest. Even in his head, you can see a nice face sculpted in there. It's a very nice looking figure. I really like it. And then articulation-wise, it is very minimal. It just rotates here at a couple ball joints, it seems here. Yeah, well, the way that the shoulders connect here are ball joints. So that's what you're looking at for articulation. So nice range of motion there with it. You can move it forward and back, but really that's about it. Like I said, you can remove this middle section to give them a little bit more streamlined of a look, but you're not going to be able to have them hold them all that easily unless you constantly keep pegging that in. But there's Caliburst, and up here we have Hole Punch. Now, Hole Punch I'm actually able to get to peg in there a little bit easier, but they are totally different molded pieces, with the exception of, well, let's see, no, his waist is different, his legs are all different looking, everything's different on him, with the exception of this, is this different? Let's see, is his little handle doodad? Yeah, the handle thing is identical. So beyond that, it's pretty good. And again, you just transform him by rotating the arms out, rotating this bit back, swivel this around. So there's Hole Punch, and again, zooming in to get a nice look of them. Again, wonderfully molded detail on here. So comparing these guys, you can see that they are different, but really very cool. I absolutely dig the fact that we got two completely different little tiny target masters. These guys look great. And then for Scoop, he's this little bulldozer thing. It's not bad. This doesn't really lock in. I mean, that's a lot of stuff doesn't really seem to tab in super securely. This is really the biggest culprit here, but it's funny because, oh, look, there's his head. It's just right there. And you put it down, and there's his head still. I mean, you can't really get that to lock down. You can see where there's like these little grooves here and slots along there, but they don't actually grip it. So they just sit there, and that kind of sucks, but it is pretty nice. You got the big giant wheels, you got an articulation joint here, you got one right here, and then the big giant shovel here also is articulated. So nice, I guess, movement in it. It's just, I don't know. I'm not feeling it too terribly much in this mode. You could do this. Here, there we go. It's, but, I mean, it's nice looking. I like it. It's just a little bit too simplistic, I think, in terms of how it looks. It's not a bad alt mode, it just doesn't wow me and jump out. So that's a little unfortunate. Now, for the transformation, it is pretty simple. There is only, like, I think, listed a total of like 13 steps, or maybe 12, so it is possible to get simple transformations in nice figures, and I do like that. So starting out first, we're going to come around here, take his legs, rotate these around, and then split them apart. Fold the little feet, knock over that guy, put him over there, fold out the feet, like so. So very simplistic right there. It doesn't really surprise me. That's how it transforms. Now you got a couple little tabs up here that sort of tab in, but not really. I mean, they sit in there, but they're there. So loosen this and then pull this out. And this is one part that actually makes me really nervous. These little sections, these little bits right there, that's what you bring in, and that's what really holds everything together. And it does a good job, but these are pretty thin, and it makes me worried that if this gets jarred for any reason, this could snap off. So that's a concern of mine. So just going to bring that out, angle these arms all the way out just like so. Then take this whole arm section here, and this all rotates around just like so, so you get the flat bottom here. Then take the waist, fold it forward, bring this up. You got the little holes right here, and then the little slots that go in there, right on there. Boom, lock that into place. Bring this down, tuck this around like so. Bring his arms out, fold his little hands out with the thumbnails that are not very good on my hand to do that. And come on, it's a pain in the butt. There, oh wait, no, I had it. No, there we go. All right, and fold that out. Bring this down and around, and here you have Scoop. And that's about it. Like I said, simple transformation. It's almost everything that you would expect him to do. It really doesn't stand out or surprise me how he transforms. But honestly, his robot mode is better, in my opinion, than his vehicle mode. But I mean, that was it. Simple. Get him situated with his little head, and yeah, I mean, there he is. And like I said, I really do think that his robot mode is the best looking, but it's, for me, still very bland. Maybe it's just, yeah, I don't have any real knowledge of this character. I mean, when I say he was a part of G1, that's really only part of the comic book continuity. He never appeared in the cartoons or anything, and that's where I get most of my Transformer knowledge from, I guess. I mean, it's not a bad figure. It's just, like I said, for me, it's very underwhelming. For his articulation, his head is on a bit of a ball joint, so you get a fairly decent range of motion. It doesn't really stay looking up too terribly long. I mean, it's like that, and that's it. The face sculpt is actually pretty nice on there. You can see a good amount of light piping sort of coming through there, although well, maybe not really even all that much. I mean, it's got a decent amount of light piping here on the back of it, but it, I don't know, it doesn't seem, I mean, in normal light, I guess you can kind of get it. The shoulders here rotate. One thing that kind of sucks is you can see how when it rotates, this whole section here shifts, and that's kind of annoying. It usually stays in place, but it does shift a little bit, so you do get a nice range of motion there. I guess you can move them in and out as part of that extra little joint up here is for the articulation. Rotates at the upper part of the elbow, bends at the elbow. The wrists move in and out, but that's about it for that articulation. It's just mostly as part of the transformation. He does rotate at the waist. He's got ball joints here at the hips. He's got a swivel here at the upper part of the thigh. He's got 2 joints here at the knee, so you can get some decent poses with him. All that articulation is there in case you do want to get some really dramatic poses, but he's just meh for me. I mean, I almost like his 2 mini-cons more. For the mini-cons, they, like I said, can be held in his hands, so just transforming them, you just rotate that, peg these little bits here on his arms together, and you can have him hold it. You kind of, there you go, you wedge it in there, and then do the same with this little guy, rotate that around, bring this back and up, get that tab together, and yeah, like I said, I mean, he holds them a lot better than when you try to get it pegged in. So like I said, you can get some decent poses with them. I'm gonna try posing real quick, and that's really it for my the level of my posing, and there you have them. I mean, it's not bad, it really isn't. And then the guns also can combine, so what you do for that is take them out, set scoop over there, then or drop them. Drunk scoop. I don't know why it's always when Transformers fall, they're drunk. So to combine them, you separate the arms on either one. You could do it on either one. It depends on which one you want to have be the bottom one. But both of them have this little slot section here. So doing this, what you do is you have this little sort of nub right there that you peg right in there, and there's his combine mode. I guess you can tuck these arms up a little bit more, and you have a big giant cannon, and it really just looks like one gun on top of another. It's not overly spectacular. So that's there's his weapons. So I do dig those guys. And scale-wise, he does scale nicely with the other Deluxes, although you can see he is a little bit shorter than say Skywarp here. Let me get him standing straight up. You got Skywarp, and this guy is a little midget kind of dude. Well, I don't want to say midget. That's not nice. But I mean, you can see that he is a little bit smaller than the standard Deluxe. But it's still a pretty good size, I think. Now, transformation back into his little not dump truck, but bulldozer mode. First, we're going to take the feet, tuck those up just like so. Take this whole section here, just extend this all the way out like that. Then take his front section, lift this, rotate these around, and then we're just going to bring this whole section up like so. Take the fists, we're going to tuck those in, straighten them out at the elbow as straight as possible, I should say. And then we're going to accordion these in and lining things up where they're going to be eventually. So bringing that up, you want to get them situated where you're able to, on the inside here is where the little hole is, and again you're going to slot this section, this little nub right there in the side. So do that there, do that on that side, and then when you do, you can bring these bits up here and kind of slot these in. They don't really, they just kind of rest there mostly. They don't, like I said, tab in or anything, so just keep that like that. And like I said, oh, what the heck did I just pop out? Oh, no, I just moved it from there. All right, that was not a good sound. See, so it's a sound like that makes me worried about these bits. So bring this up, cover his head, just bring this down. You're gonna just leave it like so. Then these, well, wanna tab these together down here, and you just rotate these around, bringing these together, slot these in, get that out of the way. What's going on here? There we go. And then you got two little hole sections right down inside here. That two little nubs are gonna push in and sort of tab in, and you can see everything else came undone. So you can see that it isn't too sturdy of a tabbing system with it, but you can get them in there. It's just fairly flimsy, honestly. It's not all that super secure, and then you just try and straighten things out as you go. And here you have Scoop back in his little that bulldozer mode. Now, bottom line is this guy really doesn't impress me all that much. Unlike Starscream, where I really like the toy despite not even knowing anything about the character, I don't know anything about this character and I'm just not impressed with the toy. The two little target masters that you get, Caliburst and Hole Punch, are a whole lot better, I think, than this. Scoop just doesn't do it for me. The vehicle mode, it looks fine like this, but nothing really locks into place, and it just seems, I don't want to say like a play school toy. It doesn't feel like it's a transformer, to be totally honest with you. I'm not digging it. The transformation is very predictable and kind of annoying, honestly, especially when you're trying to get these bits to stay in. And like I said, this whole section right here is kind of a pain in the butt. But, and then the fact that this doesn't even lock down for any reason. So the transformation really is uninteresting. Robot mode is his best mode, but even that just doesn't wow me. Now, I'm sure a lot of people like the character. He is a more prevalent character in the new IDW comics, but the comic book that I got, it doesn't even have him in a panel. Unlike Skywarp, at least he was on one of the panels. Scoop isn't in anything. So I don't learn anything about this character, which is one of the things that I think that those IDW comics should really do. Teach you about the character for the toy that you're buying. So honestly, if you like him, I would say pick him up. If not, he's definitely a figure that you could pass on, I think. But if you are interested in getting him, you're more than welcome to click on the link down in the video description where you'll go to Big Bad Toy Store where you can pick this guy up and add him to your collection today. But beyond that, guys, that's about it. So once again, I want to thank you for tuning in. This has been Optibotimus. Keep in touch with me. Find out recent purchases as well as all upcoming video reviews all at facebook.com/teambotimus and by following me over on Twitter at twitter.com/optibotimus. And don't forget to check out my new website at optibotimusreviews.com. Also, if you like this review, don't forget to please rate, subscribe, and share this video. And until next time, I'll talk to you later.